Creating success out of failure. Creating success out of failure.
I'm Jonathan Federa. I'm here to inspire you to hustle and grow your income while doing what you love. Just because you have problems doesn't mean you can't prosper. Just because you have tragedy doesn't mean you can't triumph. Actually, you should be taking advantage of that.
There's positivity in my pain. I took scarcity and turned it into strength. I always tell life, there's not much you can do to me where I won't make an obstacle an opportunity. We never lose, we only learn lessons. If you wanna change your perspective. If you don't know how to do that, we'll show you how right now. This is about to go down. You are tuning in to creating success out of failure. Creating success creating success out of failure. Out of failure.
Welcome to Creating Success Out of Failure. I have a friend and a guest, Jeff Dousharm, and I'm going to let Jeff talk a little bit about what he does, and then we're going to get into the topic of today. And the topic of today is, what's, a side hustle versus, your main job or your business, right? But Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you have going on, and because you're the perfect person to discuss this stuff with.
Sure. So blending right into the topic, I own a number of different businesses that work together. And most notably, when I'm speaking for groups or in groups, I'm known for our business brokerage, which is called No Coast Business Advisors. This actually plugs into a lot of the other things I do. And we coach, work with, consult, help people buy and sell businesses, help people get financing, help people put the deal together, and then also help businesses make their own entity, their own business, worth more. If you understand what drives the value of business to buy and sell it, then you also understand what drives the overall value, even if you decide to keep it for yourself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So basically, you approach everything as, hey, if it's an add-on to my main business, let's do it.
Right.
But you wouldn't go ahead and, let's just say, start, I don't know, some random side hustle, moving widgets.
Right. Well, and the whole idea is I look at it as a difference between an investment or an actual side hustle or another add-on business or a bolt-on type business. In other words, if it can add to the business I have, or if it adds a service to the people I serve, then it makes sense. Otherwise, it's just like throwing money into Sony or Budweiser or Disney or whatever else. And if it's something like that, I might throw some money into it. I know you've done the same, but it can't monopolize my time. It might be something where I dig into it for a week or two and back out or have oversight. But if it's something that doesn't fit, I can't be dedicating hours and hours and hours to it every week, or it's going to screw up everything else I do.
Absolutely. I think the biggest misconception, and jump in whenever, I think the biggest misconception everybody has is that in order to be very wealthy, very successful, you need multiple streams of income, which is true. There's nothing there that is 100% factual that most people that have significant wealth have multiple streams of income. However, the thing that people don't understand is that they usually become very, very good and skilled at one particular thing before they add to that. And by the way, multiple streams of income doesn't mean you own 30 businesses. It could absolutely mean that. However, it could be you invest in stocks. You have some smart insurance policies. You invest in multifamily real estate, right? There are several different ways to get to that. But for the most part, most people don't want to manage, 5 or 6 different side hustles. And what my challenge is, and we both see it in the same groups, is we have people that are fairly intelligent people that have potential, and you see them hopping from one program to the next program to the next program, one coach to the next coach, always looking for the next big thing, but never actually mastering anything. So what's your thoughts on that?
Right. And it's that shiny object syndrome. So people see somebody like you or me that we're making good money in whatever field, and they think, oh, I should chase that too. Or they join a mastermind, which is great. They should be doing this. But then they feel compelled to jump into somebody else's thing, and they keep jumping from thing to thing. And anybody that sees them, whether it be in person or online, they're like, can this guy not keep a job? Or can he not keep his business? You know, because even if they still have their
True.
old business, they don't realize that. Or you see somebody that has like 13 different businesses listed on their Facebook or their LinkedIn, you know, you're like, what the hell do you do?
Yep.
You know, where do I put you up here in my brain? How do I refer you? I'm not going to refer you for 27 things. You know, so you need to have a theme, something that fits. You only have so much shelf space in my memory. So if you're an insurance guy, everything you do better have something to do with insurance. Even if you have a side thing off of that, better blend in insurance. You can't say you're the insurance guy and the guy I refer to buy cows or something. I don't know. It doesn't fit.
No, not at all. And I think that's why a lot of people kind of struggle, and then they don't realize you have to get really good at something, right? And think about when you look at like pro athlete, right? Pro athletes make a ton of money, but why? They are the very best, the very top 1% of in their field of what they do. I think you can make a killing in any field, but you have to be able to dedicate it and be in that top percentage, right? So it's okay. And my personal belief is, you know, me and you work together on different projects. Mm-hmm. Most of our stuff overlaps and it makes sense. Right. It makes sense. Or when we see an opportunity, we jump on it. But we don't go, you know, do a 180-degree thing and we're not going to do something, or I'm not going to do something that's taking away my focus from my main business, and it's not an add-on to my business. And I think that's where people get caught up. I mean,
well, and they try to jump into skills that aren't theirs. Like, so you mentioned pro athletes. You're not going to ask your kicker to play a lineman. You're not going to ask your quarterback to play safety. You know, everybody has their role and stays in their lane, and that's to their strengths. You know, I'm never going to play in the NBA. For that matter, I'd never play in the NFL. You know, I don't have those attributes to do that. So why the hell would I go after it? But yet some people get conned into this idea of, I can do everything. I can do anything. My parents told me I'm special. I can do anything I want. That's BS. You can't. Okay. Yeah. The facts are you can't do anything or everything. You should be doing things you're really good at, which are the things that seem more natural to you. And doesn't mean it's actually natural. It just means you put in the effort to get good at that, to master it. So now it does seem easier. And to other people, you make that stuff look easy because you put in the work. You know, so stay in those areas that you can then leverage your strengths. So if you're good at this, well, add on beside it a little bit or beside it this way. But like you said, if you go 180 and all of a sudden you go, oh, I should go sell real estate because I have a friend that sells real estate and she's good at it, makes good money. Well, if that has nothing to do with what you do, what the hell? You have to enjoy it too. Yeah. You know, do stuff you're good at, and you're probably going to enjoy it and be happier about it too.
Yep. Now, I already know the answer, but we're going to ask it for everybody listening. If there's two things you enjoy doing, and let's just say they have equal opportunity, how would you pick them? Like, what are some of the things that would factor in that would say, all right, I would pick, you know, this over that?
Sure, and that's easy. It's your highest value. Even if it's something I don't enjoy as much, you know, I'll probably enjoy it when I get piles of money out of it. But people too often, you know, I know you bring this up, is they get distracted with a side thing or an add-on, and then they get consumed with it because it's new. It's like if you're dating a new girl, it's novel, you know. Hopefully you're not dating a new girl if you got a wife, but you know what I mean. Okay.
It's the chase.
Right. It's that newness, that novelty. Yeah. Well, we allow that novelty to get us excited. Well, sometimes the problem is that novelty is making you $15 an hour. Meanwhile, you have $500 an hour crap that you should be doing. Whether you like it or not, you got to lean into that kind of thing. And I've had clients, so I have coaching clients, as you know, and I've even had doctors who I call them. I have one guy, I won't name him, but I call him up and say, hey, man, what are you doing? And he's a personal friend of mine. And he goes, yeah, I'm picking up dog crap in the yard. I said, excuse me? What? What are you doing? And he says, yeah, I'm picking up dog crap in the yard. I got 5 dogs. Da, da, da. I said, well, number one, don't you have a 12-year-old? And number two, why don't you hire somebody to do that? I know how much money you make, and I know every procedure what it's worth. I know for a fact because I've actually paid for that procedure. So I know how much you bring in, and it's a hell of a lot more than pick up dog crap or paying somebody to pick that up. So we sometimes let things in our mind that we're taught as kids to have high work ethic, to think, oh, nothing's below me. Well, I'm not saying it's necessarily below you, but let's be smart. If you can make $100 an hour, stop doing the $10 stuff and hire somebody else to do it and go do more of the $100 an hour stuff. And I know you do that already, but more people need to hear that message again and again and again because I see really smart people doing stupid crap all day long.
Yeah, it's very, very, very true. And the other thing too, I don't think anyone's ever going to get rich working a job, right? And this is something that people need to understand when it comes to investing, because it ties into the whole why people have side hustles.
Mm-hmm.
Your money you have to find ways to make your money work for you while you're sleeping, right? It could be investing in stocks, like I said, insurance, certain insurance policies. It could be investing in a business as a passive investor. I mean, you've presented several great opportunities to invest in some things and projects that you work on that are always exciting and always worth it. So what would you say to somebody that is trying to transition and start that process of building a good foundation where they can,
And so again, we talked about having a side hustle as a way to make money, but to your point, eventually your money needs to work as hard as you do, which means repurposing it and putting it out there to bring more of its friends back to you. So every dollar I make, I wanted to go get me some more dollars. And that means not wasting it on stupid crap, but investing it, whether it be stocks, whether it be real estate, whether it be other businesses, but at the same time, not putting a pair of handcuffs on yourself that take more time out of your day. And I've seen too many people do that. So I may own a whole bunch of businesses, but most of them, I'm non-essential. I mean, I check in from time to time. I consult with a managing partner, whatever it may be, but I'm not like the face of all these different companies. I put money into them. I make money out of them. Even in real estate, I'm an investor. I'm not going out there flipping houses. I'm not swinging a hammer. That's for damn sure. And I'm not doing this. And people ask me, they go, well, I thought you liked doing it. I do like some of that stuff, but that's not the best use of my time.
No.
I've even owned houses. There's houses I've bought and sold that were rentals. I've never seen them. I didn't see it when I bought it. Didn't see when I sold it. Never talked to the tenant because it's an investment.
Yep.
What am I going to do? Fly and go, ooh, it's a house. I don't care. I have the right relationships to help make that happen, and people I trust that go take care of that for me. I back up a truck full of money. They go make me more. That's being smart with my time. Now, if you're not there yet, okay, then you might have to trade some time for dollars in a side hustle or whatever else. But eventually, you've got to transition the other way. You got to transition so that if you or I went to an exotic island right now and took our families and went and hung out for a month or two, I know you and I are both still making money. One, because we set up our businesses to run like a real business, but two, because our investments are spinning out cash.
Yeah.
And most people, if you look at our education system, they're not taught that very much.
No.
They're taught to go work a 9-to-5 stupid job and to be somebody's slave. And eventually you have to break out of that. Even if you're highly commissioned, you can make good money in some place. You can own your commission. You can own your money. But until you start making that shift to get that money spinning off more for you, you're on that hamster wheel.
Yep. Well, two things you mentioned. I actually did not know that about you buying and selling houses for rentals and never setting foot. I thought I was the only person that's ever done that. And it doesn't shock me that you just said that, because I have not been set foot in or even seen any of the 3 houses, and they're all multifamilies I own in Charlotte. I only have seen pictures. So it does not shock me. I still own them. And you know what? They're some of my best investments, honestly.
Right.
I have a team that does everything.
And you're not being emotional about it. You're not going, oh, I like the color of these walls. Who the hell cares?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's an investment.
I don't care. Is it nice? Yes. Perfect. Rent it. We're good.
I've told the guys who work with me, it's like, look, I don't even care if it's a crack house. As long as he's paying rent, I'm making money, we good.
Yep. So back to this, the whole side hustle thing.
Mm-hmm.
People have to differentiate if it's an add-on to what they're doing or not. So with like, we'll give our own business as an example because there's so much overlap. With Sprout, we have all different types of financing products. We refer out credit repair. We have a great team that does credit repair. Same thing. We refer out merchant services. We want to help our clients with everything and have a solution to make them very sticky and to offer also, serve them and present and give them the highest value. But everything goes. It's all hand in hand.
Right.
We're not starting a food delivery business for our clients.
And to that point, I think either you can have a strategic partner, but you can also have affiliate type relationships. So in other words, if I want to do credit repair, I can make money off credit repair. In fact, I do, as you know. I refer that out to a pro. I don't go try to start it from scratch. I refer out to somebody else who is more than happy more than happy to give me a little piece, because if I bring somebody to the table, they're going to buy from him because they trust me, because my relationship with them or my team. So it's a laydown, and they're more than happy to look at that as an acquisition cost and a strategic partner cost. And that way you can push things together. Now, I've also bought pieces of other companies I work with just because it made sense. But ultimately, I think of it as managed services. In other words, if somebody comes to me, and I'll give you an example, I own part of a marketing company, and one of the things we used to try to do in-house and had trouble with was websites. So eventually we found some better strategic partners to work with and farm that out. You know, in our business brokerage, you know, transparently, for anybody listening to this, we do work with Sprout. We work with Jonathan. It's a great strategic relationship. Why the hell would I go try to reinvent the wheel when you've already got the relationships in place that we can participate in? It's just like right now, I mean, depending on when people listen to this, the whole SBA relief thing. Everybody and their freaking brother thinks they're suddenly an expert on SBA stuff. They think they're an expert on relief loans. Okay, we've dealt with the SBA. I'm not going to name some names because I know you know who they are. Yeah. We've dealt with the biggest SBA lenders in the freaking country for years. I've got presidents and vice presidents in my phone on a Rolodex like you do. Okay, this is not new to us. This is what we've been doing for years. So, yeah, we have the chops. We have the experience of dealing with this kind of stuff. That's why we started helping people. That's why we work with you guys, too. It makes sense. You know, I'm not somebody that owns Joe's Crab Shack and Meat Market, and all of a sudden now I'm selling services to consult on SBA relief loans. How does that make sense? But people do that crap every day, and it's not just about in times of trouble or you know, the SBA stuff. I'm just using that as an example. But people pull that every day. They get some stupid idea in their head, or they see somebody who just made a bunch of money, or they bought a hot car or bought a Rolex and they're impressed. Go, I should chase that too. Why? No. Stay in your lane, make money in your lane. You can make money doing anything these days. You know, I've got kids that I've worked with that were teaching a skateboard camp, and these kids are like 15, 16, knocking down $3,000, $4,000 a weekend at 15, 16. Yeah. So if you can get paid to teach skateboarding, there's other kids. My buddy has a son and a daughter, both actually. I don't even know what the platform is. Here's what I know. Somehow other kids watch them playing video games and they get paid for it.
Stop.
I'm not even kidding. Apparently I'm showing my age now, but I forget what it's called. There's
I've never heard.
These kids are getting paid like they can show them how to clear a level or how to wipe out this thing on Call of Duty or whatever it is.
I know they have pro teams. I know they have like
got
pro.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
You can go pro.
Yeah, you can go pro video games. All right. Anytime I hear that, I think of the South Park episode with Cartman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mom!
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, seriously, people watch, you know, and actually get to watch them playing the video. I'm like, wait, you're watching somebody else play a video game. Are you freaking kidding me? But hey,
hey, it's a business.
Don't knock the hustle.
Money. You know? Don't knock it. So, I this brings up two good points about people not being able to get a little bit of savings, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's very common in our country that people spend basically to their limit or over their limit on what they make. Okay. And they do it on stupid shit. So you know me and my lifestyle very well, but I'm pretty frugal, right? Mm-hmm. So I've only treated myself really to the boat and the jet ski. Right. I don't have the crazy watch. I wear a Fitbit, more functional. I'm going to get one, but I enjoy spending my money on investments and things that make me money. Right. Okay. So what would you say to the people? I mean, we see it all the time in Sales Talk and other groups, not just Sales Talk. It's everywhere online. People are chasing the Lambo. They're chasing the flash. At what stage do you think it's appropriate to, you know, what is your cutoff differentiator for that?
So two things I want to talk about in that. Number one, society and the media, magazines, everything from a young age, because of the way marketing works, teach us that success is from tangibles, from monetary things, from stuff, accumulating more stuff. All marketing is geared around, you're not cool unless you have stuff. You're not going to be happy unless you have stuff. In fact, if your neighbor has stuff that you don't have, you better go get it. You know, that kind of keeping on the Joneses thing. Yep. And it's a sickness that we're taught, you know, and fortunately, sometimes you can make a paradigm shift where even if you feel the need to have that rush from buying something, you can just shift that a little bit and go, I feel a rush from buying stock or I feel rushed from
There you
buying
go.
an investment, you know, and you can still feel that need for stuff. It's just a different kind of stuff that, oh, by the way, pays you money to buy more stuff,
Yep.
right? And so that's how I look at it. I use some of my investments to spin off enough money. You know, think about it. Why buy $100,000 car when I could put $100,000 into an investment that makes
Yep.
me 20 grand a year that would more than make that car payment for me,
Yep.
and I can buy more cars. And so I look at it that way. And so I think it's about making that shift from defining success from stuff, which we're taught, to realizing what it's really about in sustainability. You know,
And
I've
cash
been
flow.
hospitalized multiple times where I couldn't work, almost died a few times, and that drove that point home real fast in a hurry. And so it's realizing that there's a different type of success that you can achieve and just get the stuff later, and doesn't have to be that much later. I'm not saying wait forever, but put things in order of priority. In other words, it's a priority for me to have sustainable cash flow before I buy a sports car. It was a priority for me to have, you know, certain things in my life, insurance, whatever else it may be, before I buy toys. Okay. And so I do have, as you know, a number of watches. I've got 2 planes. I've got a bunch of other crap. And I don't show it off to flex on people or anything else. Only time I bring that kind of stuff up is to inspire people and say, look, you can do this. Here's a path to get there the right way.
Yep.
If you want something like this, you can get it. Let me show you how. And I use those things, my planes I use for practical purposes, for business, whatever else, even on watches. And that's the other thing that I want to mention. You can use certain things the right way for business. You know, we have friends that use their cars to make connections for business. I've used my watches to make connections with people that I identify and value that to open doors. But if you're buying stuff just because you like it, okay, that's cool. But that should be further down the priority list. I didn't start buying stuff like that until I could have afforded it years before, you know, and I didn't do it. I just kept investing and doing different things to stack myself up.
Yep.
You know, literally under the point now, and I'm pretty sure you are as well, we don't really have to work. I mean, it's nice because we get more stuff, you know, we can drive more revenues, but if I just shut down right now and just kept going off my passive income, I'm okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I may not achieve some of my bigger goals I want to do and help more people, which is important to me, but I don't have to work the crazy hours and stuff that I do. I do that because I love it. You know,
I think
so
you'd go nuts without
that
it,
choice.
honestly.
Oh yeah, there's no way I'm ever going to retire. Yeah, some people that say, well, "When are you going to retire?" I said, "You mean die?"
Yeah.
But that's not about the money.
No.
That's not about the money for me. That's just as you know, I love doing this. I love helping people. I love being part of exciting things. That feeds my needs personally. But I think
Absolutely.
most people do 2 things wrong. Number one, they buy stuff way too far ahead of time, which puts them further in a hole, further in debt.
Mm-hmm.
And now, let's say they buy a big screen TV, but they buy on a credit card that's 22% interest. Start doing the math and realize how much you really paid for that TV. And realize
Mhm.
if you just wait a few months, you probably could have paid cash for it or got a deal, right?
Absolutely.
So people buy stuff too early. And number 2, they buy the wrong stuff for the wrong reasons. You know, they buy stuff just to try to keep up or impress people who, by the way, don't give a shit about you. And so you're buying stuff for the wrong reasons when you could have bought things that make you money. You know, look at Berkshire Hathaway. Look at Charlie Munger. Look at Warren Buffett. They buy a lot more stuff than any of us. But the stuff they're buying are companies, cash flowing assets, cash producing assets. That's pretty exciting. You know, I mean, you can buy a cool car or whatever, but I don't know too many cool cars that continue to pump out thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to you that you could then buy a whole fleet of cars with. So it's about prioritization, and most kids are never taught that. They're taught and institutionalized to be a worker bee and go get that 9 to 5. So they're not taught stuff like this of how to be smart with their money.
Absolutely. And then last thing, I think, because this is one of the problems we see, I think, all over, right? Because we both are coaches. I have capital gains and then the Sprout Advisor program. And you see people that don't make the necessary commitments, or they have too much going on, right? So how long, you know, if you were starting something, how long would you give it? Okay. And, you know, how would you prioritize the focus? Like, walk us through that, because you see it all the time with Apex. I see it in capital gains. And I think it's, you know, people not understanding there is a huge opportunity, but you have to master it. You have to build up to it. So let's talk a little bit about that.
I think most people give up way too early. And it's because everything in society now is conditioned to instant gratification. They think they should try something and somehow get paid $1 million in a week. They think that they can post up one ad, make one post, make a blast email to all their friends and tell them what they do, and they expect the money just to be there right now. And much of society has shifted that way. You know, fast food isn't fast enough. There's instant magic pills to lose weight overnight and have six-pack abs, apparently. You know, even look at models like Walgreens. Walgreens and CVS, stores like that, used to have one per small city, couple in a medium city, and a couple more in a large city. But you got to drive to get there. Now, they're like every other corner. Starbucks. I mean, there's places I've stood where I've stood in one Starbucks, and there's a Starbucks across the street, that kind of thing. So much of society is catered to that. And so we falsely believe that we can watch one course or listen to one guru tell us how to do a funnel and put it up one weekend on a Friday, and by Monday, we're a baller. We're buying a Lambo. We're going to buy a beach house, and we're going to be flying that jet and picking up girls, you know. But that's the kind of crap that's put out there. And by the way, it's often put out there by people who are broke as hell. And they're just trying to fool everybody and lie to everybody. But that kind of crap in the media, in social media, and society leads us to those false beliefs. There's also a lot of people that are our neighbors, our friends even, that they've got a sports car, they got a big house, they got a hot wife, they got, you know, all these things on the surface, but they're in debt up to their ass. Yep. And the first time they miss anything, it's catastrophic, you know, because they're so leveraged. And so I think all of that leads to this, which is the point. Most people want to have what we have, but they're not willing to do what we've done. Neither one of us made money overnight. Neither one of us made money in a week or a month or even a year, really. No. You know, so it's that paying your dues and putting in the effort. And it's not paying your dues like, oh, I just got to sit around and wait. No, you've got to go through the process to develop and become the person that can be at that level of mastery. Yeah. You haven't earned it until you've been through that process. Somebody can't just give it to you. You've got to go through that. So when I see people, they say, oh, I tried Facebook. Facebook doesn't work. I'm like, how long did you try it? Like, oh, I made 3 posts. 3 posts, really? Really? That's all this is worth to you. Your life dream that you were going to build your empire on, it was worth trying 3 times. Yep. You're a loser. Stop acting like a loser, okay? Be willing to fail. Be willing to get out there and fall on your face again and again and again, and then get up and keep moving. And so most people just won't do that. They don't have the stamina.
Let's think about this. How many things have you actually started that went super smooth? Honestly, like just went smooth.
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
Has that ever happened?
0. Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
You know? People think you buy an investment property and all of a sudden it's just a cash machine. I think I've gotten my ass handed to me in the first 6 months of every investment I've ever done. Same thing with every business.
And it still happens from time to time. I sent you some text messages recently about it.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that one, but yeah,
no,
it still
happens.
Not. Yeah, it still happens. But the pros can just hit that and keep moving.
It's the mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the novices. As soon as they hit a brick wall, they stop. They don't try to find a way around it. They don't try to go through it. They don't ask for help. They just go, oh, I give up. Let me go try something else.
Do you ever doubt do you ever have a doubt where it's like, yeah, this isn't going to work? That never occurs to me. It's always, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
No, yeah. I just looked. I know there's always a solution. I look at it this way. There's somebody else that's figured it out. If they're dumbass can figure it out, so can I. Okay?
Exactly.
Or I'll ask somebody else that's done it, that's done what I want to do. But most people become a professional quitter. A lot of kids are taught this even. This is another thing. So a lot of kids, their parents who don't even want to be a parent, they enroll them in activity, whether it's soccer, baseball, martial arts, whatever else. They go, okay, Johnny, what do you think we should do? I'm like, Johnny's 6. He thinks you should be a parent and tell him what to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy idea. But then the first time Johnny doesn't want to go to soccer practice, or first time Johnny doesn't want to go to martial arts class, their parents go, oh, okay, we'll quit. I'm like, oh my God, you're teaching your kid to be a quitter. Yeah. No, you kick his butt, throw him in the car and make him go do it and follow through. And so that then bleeds over to the professional environment. And the first time a boss is hard on them, or the first time they don't make a good sale, or they drop a sale or something, or try a business or try anything, and they run into adversity, they've already been trained to quit. Oh, I'll just give up. And then they tell themselves, here's the other one I love. Somebody says, well, I stopped because I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, you're not a perfectionist, you're a quitter. Okay? Stop giving up on yourself. Stick it out. Stop being a loser. And when I say that, I mean, stop acting like a loser. Stop engaging in loser activity, because that's what that is.
It's true. It is very true, man. Well, listen, I don't want to take up a lot of your time, and I definitely appreciate you coming on. Where can everybody find you?
So real simple. Find me anywhere on social media, Jeff Dousharm. My last name is spelled do, us, harm. Or if you can't remember that, just go to contactjeff.com. That has all the links to different websites and ways to get a hold of me. And I'm always accessible that way. But as you know, I don't take phone calls from anybody.
Ever.
So
Ever.
Ever.
We just text back and forth. All right, cool.
Yep, exactly.
Well, listen, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Please follow Jeff. He is a wealth of knowledge. And again, we don't run commercials, we don't run ads. So share this if you got any value out of it, which I know you did. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, brother.
Success out of failure.
Thanks for tuning in to Creating Success Out of Failure. Please share this with someone that needs to hear it, post it on social media, and leave us a 5-star review. I'll catch you on the next one.